Under the bright Rabat sun, Morocco's King Mohammed VI stands before the army corps alongside Crown Prince Moulay Hassan and Prince Moulay Rashid. Crowds gather outside the capital's parliament, where anticipation runs high. The monarch's presence signals more than a ceremonial opening. It's a moment many hope will mark a turning point in Morocco's tense social climate. As the king reviews the troops, saluting the national flag, chants ripple through the crowd. Cameras capture faces filled with cautious optimism and frustration. Across Morocco, thousands of young people have taken to the streets in recent weeks, demanding jobs, affordable education, and access to healthcare. Today, they watch to see if the king will address them directly. From the balcony of Parliament, Mohammed VI waves to his people. Below, banners reading Justice Sociale and Droits à la Santé flutter in the wind. The monarchy has long balanced economic modernization with deep-rooted inequality, a tension that today's speech could either ease or inflame. Inside the chamber, applause greets the monarch's arrival. Lawmakers rise to their feet as the king takes his place at the podium, flanked by his son and brother. For many watching on national television, this is more than protocol. It's a test of leadership during one of Morocco's most restless periods in recent memory. A prayer echoes through Parliament, the air grows solemn. Then the speech begins, a carefully worded address on national priorities and social welfare. The king's tone is calm, deliberate, but firm. Close-ups capture his composure. He speaks of development, solidarity, and responsibility. The nation listens. For younger Moroccans, this is the moment that will define whether protest energy turns into reform or fades into disillusionment. The Moroccan flag fills the frame, red with its green star, symbolizing unity and continuity. Yet outside Parliament, that unity feels fragile. Then comes the key soundbite, the line that anchors the king's message. There should be no contradiction or competition between major national projects and social programs, as long as the goal is to develop the country and improve the living conditions of citizens, wherever they may be. King Mohammed VI. It's a statement aimed at balancing Morocco's dual priorities, economic expansion and social justice. But it leaves some unsatisfied. Nowhere in the address does the king mention the youth-led protest movement that has filled Casablanca, Tangier and Fez for weeks. Outside, chants of "education is not a privilege" and "health for all" echo through the streets, slogans carried by teachers, doctors and students alike. The monarch's message, however, focuses on implementation, strengthening regional development, public education and healthcare infrastructure. Analysts say this is consistent with his long-term strategy, reform through gradual policy rather than political confrontation. For state broadcasters, the framing is clear. Morocco is modernizing responsibly without chaos. But independent journalists see another story, one of generational impatience, where reforms promised for decades remain only half fulfilled. In the southern provinces, communities complain of understaffed hospitals and outdated classrooms. Youth unemployment hovers near 29%, according to recent government data. While the king emphasizes national projects like renewable energy and infrastructure, critics warn these mega projects risk overshadowing the everyday needs of ordinary Moroccans. On social media, young activists share clips from the royal address, some praising his commitment to development for all, others calling it a speech without answers. Yet even among critics, respect for the monarchy remains deep. Many see Mohammed VI not as the problem, but as the only figure capable of unlocking change. Political analysts in Rabat point out that the king's statement that there should be no contradiction between national projects and social programs subtly acknowledges the protesters' concerns, even if indirectly. They argue that the phrase signals the monarchy's awareness of growing discontent, particularly among Morocco's young majority, two-thirds of whom are under 35. Still, the absence of any direct reference to the protests is striking. The movement, largely peaceful but persistent, has spread from urban centres to smaller towns. Student unions and civil society groups have coordinated marches demanding free higher education, universal healthcare and anti-corruption reforms. Their message: development means little if ordinary citizens remain excluded from its benefits. Morocco's government, backed by the monarchy, has promised gradual reforms before, from decentralisation to social protection funds. But many of these initiatives have stalled due to bureaucratic hurdles and local governance gaps. The result is visible frustration, especially as global inflation pushes up food and housing costs. Outside Parliament, as the royal convoy departs, police maintain calm. Demonstrators hold up smartphones broadcasting live on TikTok and X. One student, Amina El-Haddad, tells reporters, "We respect the king, but respect doesn't feed us or heal us. We want results, not ceremonies." Her comment, quickly shared online, captures the national mood, reverence mixed with resolve. Inside the ruling coalition, ministers scramble to translate the royal address into policy. Talks are already underway about expanding scholarships, improving teacher pay, and accelerating hospital construction in rural areas. Observers say these measures could calm the streets if implemented swiftly and transparently. Meanwhile, the palace emphasises continuity. For Mohammed VI, stability has always been paramount, especially as neighbouring countries face economic crises and political turmoil. His challenge now is to maintain that stability while responding to legitimate social demands. Internationally, Morocco's allies, from the European Union to the Gulf, view the kingdom as a model of moderate reform in North Africa. Yet, as global inequality deepens, Morocco's internal social contract will be tested. The youth protests are not just about wages or welfare, they are about voice, about being heard in a system still centred on royal authority. Back in Rabat, the flag once again dominates the closing shot. It flutters above the Parliament building, a reminder of unity, but also of the gap between vision and reality. The question remains, will Morocco's leadership transform words into action, or will this speech join the archive of promises made and deferred? For now, the King's message stands as both reassurance and warning that national development and social reform are not rivals but twins, both essential for Morocco's future. As night falls on Rabat, protesters disperse peacefully, their chants fading into the sound of distant traffic. But their movement, like the red flag over the city, is not going away.
على نغمات النشيد الوطني السادس نصره الله محفوفا بصاحب السمو الملكي ولي العهد الأمير يجدد اليوم من خلال هذا الحدث البارز في مسار تقوية وتدعيم وبناء مغرب ديمقراطي الكرامة للجميع ملكية مواطنة ودستور متقدم شكل الكونترا والكاتبان العامان لمجلسي النواب والمستشارين.
لكم تفلحون.
الجاية الأخيرة لمجلس النواب من الولاية الحالية وهي
إخراج هذه الملفات بشكل ناجع وعميق وفي مقدمة وترسيخ دولة القانون وتكريس ثقافة المشاركة.
There should be no contradiction or competition between major national projects and social programs, as long as the goal is to develop the country and improve the living conditions of citizens wherever they may be.